Good morning to all of you. I welcome all of you in today's lecture. In the last lecture, we have seen that in previous two lecture, one of the important lecture, that is the various aspect of the Atal tunnel constructions, and then we also seen that various aspect of the Samruddhi Mahamarga in the last lecture. So in today's lecture, as far as your module number 6, we are going to see the article, that is the disaster management. Okay, so that topic is also very important as far as your curriculum point of view. So I would like to share with all of you the today's presentation. If you see here, the module number 6. So in the module number 6, we was completed the diaphragm wall constructions, then purpose and the construction methods. Okay. Then also we was seen that the safety measure in the construction, then prevention of accident, and the how we can prevent the accident, whatever may be the possibility of the certain accident during the constructions of the diaphragm wall, we also discuss. And this is about whole about the diaphragm wall. Okay. Then also we was seen that how the constructions of Atal tunnel, what is the importance behind Atal tunnel. Then also we was seen that the one of the important project, that is the Samruddhi Mahamarg road construction. Then in the last article, we are going introduction to disaster management. So before going into detail, in case of the disaster management, I would like to share with all of you some of the important aspect of the disaster management. Okay. Now basically the disaster management, as far as concerned with the civil engineering, as far as concerned with our you can say any type of the construction point of view. So whatever may be the project we are going to construct, for example, if you want to build a bridge across the river, then we should also consider the flood factor. Okay. So during the monsoon season, or during the, you can say, the heavy or the peak flood, when it will come into the river, so that factor is also very important in case of the bridge construction. So the flood is the one of the important aspect of the disaster management. Okay. So in the previous means in the next slide, I will share with all of you certain kinds of the information which is required during the constructions of the bridge also. Then the another important project as far as concerned with the civil engineering, that is the dam construction. So during the dam construction also, as a hydraulic engineer, as a fluid mechanics, as a part of the fluid mechanics, the disaster point or the disaster management plays an important role. So for any kind of the civil engineering project, for example, in case of the you are learning the particular subject, that is the town planning. Okay. Now basically the in case of the town planning also, if you see the storm water management. Okay. So during the rainy season, okay, when the rainfall will occur, and as the urbanization will increases, the imperviousness surface is also increases. Okay. And due to which what will be happening, the percolation of water will reduces, and the runoff will during the monsoon season of the any urban areas. Now, due to the imperviousness area, some of the water may flows on the along the roadside or on the road also. So it will affect the flood situation, or it may create the flood situation in case of the city areas also. So the disaster management, as far as concerned with the flood in the urbanization, is also a major factor. So whenever there is a civil engineering project, so we have to consider this particular aspect, that is the disaster management, because a huge amount of money we are going to require to be in construction of any types of the project. So if the project may fail due to the flood situation or even the earthquake also, and during the construction stages, if you not follow the different principle which is required in case of any civil engineering project, then ultimately that project may fail when the certain the natural or the man-made you can say disaster will arise. So for any kind of the project, this point is very important, that is the disaster management. So this is the preamble to the session of the disaster management. Then actually what is a disaster? Basically, what do you mean by the disaster? Okay. So a disaster is an occurrence causing widespread destruction and distress. So means if you see here, this is the natural, you can say the disaster in these photographs. In the urbanization area, due to the heavy rainfall and the badly designed the drainage system. So this situation is arises in case of the city areas also, in case of the urban areas also. So such a situation is increases due to the climate change also day by day. And even if you see here in these photographs also, if you see here the in case of the heavy snowfall and heavy melting of the snow, there will be again flood situations, then increase in the temperature. For example, the temperature will increases, so there will be a effect on the climate change. Okay, so the climate change is also an important factor we should consider during the planning stages. And the cyclone also, that is the tsunami and cyclone which will arises in case of the sea, and due to which also there will be a effect. Okay, so such cases may arises, and that phenomena which has the potential to cause dispersion or the damage to the people and their environment. So due to such natural or man-made things, there will be a dispersion and the damages to the people and the environment, and that we called it as a disaster. Okay, so look at these situations, and if you want to predict this particular case of the city, then what we need to do? We need to have a good drainage systems. So basically, to avoid this particular situation, then we need to taken into account the climate change impact also. So what should be the temperature in the future? What should be the precipitations in the future? If you look into consideration this aspect, then it is very easy for us to manage these things. So these are the things we have to manage in case of the urbanization area, in case of any growing watershed. Okay, so there are various ample you can say the activity we have to do in case of the agriculture also. Okay, so this is about the disaster. Okay, then as far as concerned with the WHO, World Health Organization. Now, what do you mean by the disaster? Actually, as per the WHO. So, a disaster can be defined as any occurrence that cause damage, ecological disruptions, loss of human life, deterioration of health and health services on a scale sufficient to warrant and extraordinary response from the outside the affected community or the area, then we called it as a disaster. Okay, so this is the definitions as per the World Health Organization. Then as per the RAC, that is the American Red Cross. Now as per this RAC, a disaster can be defined as the occurrence either natural or the man-made that cause human suffering and create human needs that victims cannot alleviate without assistance. Means due to the man-made or due to the natural, if the such occurrence will be there, then we cannot, uh, you can say create certain things which is helpful to the people. But before occurring such situations, if you think about at the time of planning, whatever may be the project you are going to carry it out, if you plan this particular aspect, disaster management, then we can save the life as well as the property as well after completions of the project also. Then the types of disaster or the crisis, we called it as also the crisis. There are two types of the disaster, natural and man-made. So as far as concerned with the natural, the major types of the natural disaster such as earthquake, then floods, cyclones, then the minor natural disaster, that is the cold waves, then thunderstorm, landslides. So these are the natural, you can see, the disaster. Now as far as concerned with the man-made disaster, we have the major such as fire outbreak, then train accident, then epidemics, then minor such as road accident, then food poisoning, then industrial crisis. So this is about if the disaster, the types of the disaster, that is the natural and the man-made. Now as far as concerned with the natural disaster, in case of the natural disaster, if you see one of the natural disaster, that is the earthquake, then flood and the cyclone, and minor is cold wave, thunderstorm and the landslides. So if you talk about the natural disaster, some disaster may give some warning sign like flood, cyclone, volcano, then other like earthquake give no warning sign. So uh, uh, in these photographs, if you see here, this is the city area, and in the monsoon season, okay, in the middle or in the beginning or at the end of the monsoon season, during the entire monsoon season, in the some part of the India, every year such situation will be there. Okay, and also if you see the history also, basically for such situations, so every year, okay, such situation will be there. Number of peoples may die due to the flood situations. Okay, so if you take this particular subject for the project also, so how to manage these particular things, if you look into these photographs, and if you select a project, that is the design of the drainage systems or to minimize the flood situations in such particular city area, or what we can do to minimize these situations or to reduce this particular flood situation in the city areas. So that is the major, you can see the scope where we can do the project. Okay, because every year uh, we seen that such situations, not a single year. म्हणजे इथं आपल्याला प्रत्येक वर्षी असं सिच्युएशन इंडियामध्ये पाहायला कोणताही असं सिंगल इयर आपण बघितलेलं नाही की अशी सिच्युएशन झालेली नाही. So this is a particular, you can say, the area where we can do the project. Lot of scope will be there. So what is our objective behind it? To minimize this flood. So for the purpose minimizing this flood situation. So we can manage this flood situation by designing of the good drainage system. Then we can design the river or nala. So for example, in case of Aurangabad city also, we have the different small nala or major nala, where all the drain will collected in that particular nala or river. Okay, and if you widened that particular things, means whatever may be the flood which is coming from this entire area, if you connect with the help of drainage, good drainage systems, then we can minimize or we can control these particular situations. So this is the a major area where we can do the lot of work. Okay, the government also, as far as concerned with the DST project. Okay, some of the students are knowing that about the DST. So if you think about the DST project also, you will have a chance to earn something about from this particular topic. So this is the a challenge topic, you can say, where you can do lot of work to control such situations in the India. Then another thing is that the earthquake. Okay, now this is the another area where we can do the lot of work as far as concerned with the civil engineering also, because the earthquake doesn't give any sufficient warning before it may occurs. It gives it occurs immediately. Okay, and such situation will be there. So the when the earthquake may come, then your whatever may be the structure will be there, you have to do some investigations, careful research, so as to minimize the such collapsing of the any structures. And we have to design such structure which would have to stand without any the collapse. Okay, so these are the two area generally where we can do the lot of work, and in future also, when after your BE, look at these two situations where you can do the lot of work in the futures also. Then as far as concerned with the Indian situations, if you see here the recent crisis, the recent crisis or disaster in case of the India, that is the Kerala flood, then the another is Chennai flood, then Orissa, Bengal cyclone, then Amphan or Nasarga, you can say. Then there will be another area where we can do lot of work, that is the to minimize the landslides also. Okay, in the hilly area this problem will be there. Then gas tragedy in the Visakhapatnam, then locust swarming, then corona pandemic. Okay, so these are the, you can say, the recent crisis is occurs during the any years. Okay, so we if you want to tackle this particular crisis or disaster, then what strategy we have to take into consideration. So when the such a situation will arises, so we can minimize the losses, the property losses or human losses also. Okay, so we need to think about that also. Then what are the various effect of such disasters? Okay, so actually if the disaster will occurs, so what are their effect? The first effect is the loss of life. Okay, then uh, some people may die. Okay, uh, and some injury will be there, the second effect. Then damage. Okay, and the destruction of the property also. So damage to the life, damage to the property. Then the net production, okay, damage and destruction of the productions also. For example, in case of the agriculture area, every year due to the heavy rainfall or due to the drought area also, due to the drought in both productions also, okay. So when the heavy rainfall will occur, then the farmer will get the losses in the net productions also, and then when there will not a sufficient rainfall or very less rainfall or very scanty rainfall, then also there will be a loss of the production. So this is the another effect of the disaster. Then uh, disruption of the lifestyle, okay. So our lifestyle also if will get affect with the disaster. Then loss of livelihood and whatever may be the essential service we require, then disruptions to the essential services also. So these are the some of the major effect you can say. And apart from this, there are so many effect will be there as far as concerned with the disaster, okay. So this is about the disaster. Then aim and objective of the preparedness, okay. So what strategy we have to take into consideration before the occurrence of the disaster and after occurrence of the disaster or during the occurrence of the disaster. What you can say the step anybody can take. So if you see here our aims and the objective of the preparedness. So some of the measure taken to prepare for and reduce the effect of the disaster. Then disaster or crisis preparedness should be continuous and integrated process, okay. What are the various objective? So this is the aim, okay. So what is our aim generally? We have to prepare about the continuous and the integrated whatever may be the disaster will occurs in case of the earthquake also, in case of the flood situations also, or any natural or any artificial you can say the crisis will be there. That is our aim, to minimize that one, okay. And our objective is the increasing the efficiency or the effectiveness and the impact of disaster emergent response mechanism at individual oblique the community or the national level, okay. So the first our objective behind the any disaster is we have to increase the efficiency and effectiveness, okay, and the impact of disaster emergent response mechanism at individual, community, and the national level. Then the second most objective is the developing activities useful for addressing everyday risk that communities face and the prepare ourselves. So these are the two main objective to tackle this particular you can see the AM. So we have the emergency management, so prevention and mitigation, then preparedness, then responses and the recovery, okay. So these are the step we have to take into consideration. Any individual persons take into consideration these things so as to we can minimize the any crisis when it will arises, okay. So the aims of the crisis preparedness, okay. So avoid if possible the potential losses from the hazards, then assure prompt and appropriate assistance to oneself and the people around, and achieve rapid and durable recovery. So these are the aims of the crisis preparedness. Then the disaster scenario once seemed merely theoretical, which could have now become a disturbing reality, okay. So this is the things we can realize every year. Then preparedness. So for that purpose, what step individually or we could take into considerations, then that is known as the emergency preparedness. So make a plan, then build a kit and be informed. So whatever may be the things which is in our hand, that is the we have to make a good plan, then to tackle in case of in any emergency, we have to build a kit, and then with the help of the technological invent, we have to inform sufficient information to the individual. Okay, so see, such emergency preparedness we should follow. Then as far as concerned with the earthquake also, this is the things will happen. Some crack may occurs on the road surface also, some building may collapse. So these are the area where we can do the lot of work to avoid such. Then before arising such crisis, what step generally we should follow? First one is the repair. Okay, so repair deep plaster cracks on wall and ceilings. Okay, then fasten shelves securely to wall. Place heavy or large object on the lower shelves. Then prepare an emergency kit with the essential item for the safety and survival. And then we have to develop an emergency communications and evacuation plan for every family, and then learn the earthquake technique, that is the drop, cover, hold. Then educate yourself and family members about the earthquake risk. So before that, these are the steps if you follow, then we can minimize such a situation. Then during the you can say the such natural disaster, then we have to follow these things. Stay calm, that is do not panic. Don't go into the panic during the such earthquake. Then move outside as soon as the tremors stop. Okay, then drop under a table and cover your head, and don't use lift. So this is the things we have to follow. Okay, then stay calm, that is do not panic, that is stay away from the mirror windows. Then move outside as soon as possible. Then stay whenever you are, means it means that whenever you are, you have to stand there only. And if you are in a car, stay inside till the disaster or crisis uh, may end. Then don't use lift, so don't use machines, candles or any flames during this particular crisis, that is the earthquake. So during the earthquake we have to follow these things. Then uh, drop whenever you are into your hands or knees, wherever you are onto your heads and keys. Then this position protect you from being knocked down, and also allow you to stay low and crawl to shelter if nearby. Then the second one is that we have to cover our head. So your head and neck with one arm and hand. See here, this is the table during that particular stages or the crisis. If a there will be a table or desk is nearby, or the crowl underneath it for shelter. Okay, if no shelter is nearby, crawl next to an interior wall away from the windows. Then stay on your knees, bend over to protect vital organs. Okay, and hold on under shelter, hold on to your shelter with one hand. Okay, and be ready to move with if it shift. Okay, no shelter, means hold onto your head and neck with both arm and hands. So these are the things we have to follow during the certain crisis. Then after the earthquake, what step we can do? Move means move cautionly and check for unstable object and other hazard above and around you. Then the second step we have to follow, that is the anticipate. So anticipate aftershock, especially after a major earthquake. Then stay away. Then stay away from beach, tsunami, sometime heat after the ground has stopped shaking. So such uh, things we have to do after the earthquake. Then do not spread. So do not spread and believe in the rumors. Then leave a message stating where you are going. If you must excavate your house, then do not drive around. So do not drive around the damaged area, as rescue and relief operation need a road for the mobility. They not attempt bridge. So after the earthquake, these are the things we have to follow. Then as far as concerned with the community, okay, the practice drop, cover, hold drills regularly, and then the practice excavation drill and regularly. Then ensure that exit route are marked and firefighting equipment is working properly, especially in high-rise building. So as far as concerned with the community buildings, these are the steps we have to follow during and after the such crisis. Then preparedness, prepare and practice a response plan for the residential and office complexes. Then regularly carry out and practice fire rescue drills such as stop, drop and roll. Then ensure that all resident visitors are periodically trained to face different emergency situations and provide first aid boxes. So these are the preparedness generally if we have to follow. Then after this, I would like to share with all of you the one of the important you can say the video. It will give us the sufficient information about this particular flood situations.
We realize the importance of preparedness, we'll be able to proceed further. So coming to floods, and floods is also something which we have been seeing very frequently and take for granted. So preparedness again for floods, most of the points would be common for floods and cyclones. I would just like to apprise to you in brief that the foremost thing is we need to stay calm and we have to ignore rumors, because rumors is something which really unnerves us. We would come to know that someone has said that this speed of wind is going on and the floods are going to come from this direction. So I think we should only rely on official information, and we should always keep our mobile phones charged. And people who are staying in flood prone areas, or we know a warning of floods, we should always keep a battery backup, because that will be your only mode of communication when the electricity is cut, able to communicate with anyone. People who have pets at home should always untie the pets in situations of cyclones and floods, and because we need to ensure their safety, because they are also part of our family. And emergency kits, I would be delving it into my next slide, that if we need to have emergency kits, something which we would that it is it's not to any of us get at home, and periodically checking it and replenishing it and replacing it. So we need to keep our documents and valuables in waterproof bags. We should know the safe route to nearest shelter. And if we are very sure that we are in a place where the flood water will definitely come, we should evacuate to a raised pakka house. And if the government officials have given a warning, we should not wait for the floods to come and rather evacuate immediately to safe places. And in our emergency, as well as in other situations, we should store ready to feed non-perishable food and water for at least 1 week. This is
So this is about sufficient warning, or you can say the preparedness before the floods. Okay. So Again, I would like to share with all of you the the phases, okay, the phases of disaster. So, particularly pre-impact phase will be there, then the impact phase and the post-impact phase. So, these are the three phases of the disaster. Then, as far as concerned with this particular, you can say the map we have. So, we have the pre-disaster, that is, we have the warning, then we have the threat, then certain impact will be there, then heroic situation will be there, then reconstructions, that is a new beginning will be there after the situations will normalize, then the coming to the terms, that is the working through grief, and the trigger event, and the anniversary reaction. So when the disaster will occur, so how it will react, okay. So this is the important, you can see the graph by which we can see the phases of the disaster, okay. Then there are certain principles of the disaster management. So disaster management is the responsibility of all the spheres of the government, or all the individuals actually. Then disaster management should use resources that exist for a day-to-day purpose. Then organizations should function as an extension of their care business. Then individuals are responsible for their own safety. Then disaster management planning should focus on the large scale events. So these are the principles. uh, if you taken into considerations, then definitely we can tackle with any type of the crisis or the disaster. So the disaster management planning should recognize the difference between the incident and the disaster. Then the disaster management planning must take account of the type of the physical environment and the structure of the populations. Then disaster management arrangement must recognize the involvement and the potential role of the non-government agencies also. So these are the some of the important principles. Then phases of the disaster management: disaster preparedness, then disaster impact, then disaster response, then rehabilitation, then mitigation. So preparedness in the form of money, manpower, and the materials, okay. So whenever there is a requirement as per the frequency of the disaster, we have to supply sufficient manpower, we have to supply the sufficient materials, and we have to supply the money also. So these are the some of the pre-preparedness we take into considerations. Then the evaluation from past experience about the risk also, the location of disaster prone areas, then organization of communication, information, and the warning systems, then ensuring coordination and the response mechanisms, okay. So these are the things we can do before the any situations, any crisis, during the crisis and after the crisis, okay. Then development of public education program, then coordination with media, then national and international relations, and keeping stock of floods, foods, then drugs and other essential commodities. For example, as far as concerned with the IMD, okay, Indian Meteorological Department, it is a government agency which plays a key role in forewarning the disaster of the cyclone storm by detecting tracing. It has 5 centers in Kerala, Bhubaneswar, Visakhapatnam, Chennai, and Mumbai. In addition, there are 31 special observation posts up a long east coast area. So, which is available in case of any emergency situation or the crisis is arises, that is the Indian Meteorological Department, IMD department. Then the international agencies, there are different international agencies are exist, which provide a humanitarian assistance to the disaster like strike areas or United Nations agencies like Office for the Coordinations of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA, then World Health Organization, that is WHO, then UNICEF will be there, then World Food Program, that is WFP, then Food and Agriculture Organization, FAD. Then there are another non-government organizations is also exist. The first one is the Cooperative American Relief Everywhere, that is CARE. Then the International Community of Red Cross, then International Community of Red Cross. So these are the non-governmental organizations also which provide the necessary help during the and after the such crisis. Then these are the impact of the disaster, any kinds of the disaster you can see here. Then the disaster responses will be there, the epidemiologic surveillance and the disease control. Then vaccinations will be there. Then we have to provide the sufficient nutrition also. So these are the disaster responses. Then rehabilitation phase. Okay, so after the effect or after the disaster, okay, what step we should do, that is known as the rehabilitation. We have to reconstruct the houses where all the houses is collapsed, or entire city is collapsed. So we have to again rehabilitate that entire city. So the first need is that the water supply, then food safety will be there, then basic sanitation and the personal hygiene, then vector control. So these are the basic things we have to provide. Then the disaster mitigations. So this disaster mitigation involves the essential likely effect of the emergencies. Okay, so these include, depending upon the disaster, protection of vulnerable population and the structures. For example, improving structural quality of the school, houses and other buildings so that medical casualties can be minimized. Then similarly ensuring the safety of health facility and the public health services including water supply and the sewerage system to reduce the cost of rehabilitation and the reconstructions. So this mitigation complement the disaster preparedness and the disaster response activities. Then disaster effect. Also, if you talk about the effect, there will be a certain death, disability, increase in the communication diseases, the psychological problem, food shortage, economic loss, supply, mental disruptions. Okay, so these are the certain effects. Then disaster recovery, a successful recovery preparedness or the preparations, be vigilant in the health teaching, then psychological support, then referral to the hospital as needed, then remain alert of the environment health, then nurse must be attentive to the danger. So these are the disaster recovery. Then major disaster in India, if you see here 1984 Bhopal gas tragedy, there will be there was a Bhopal gas tragedy. Then in 2001 Gujarat earthquake, then in 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, then in 2008 Mumbai attacks. So these are the some of the major disaster in the history in case of the India. Then as far as concerned with the India's vulnerability to the disaster, and now if you see the 57% land is vulnerable to the earthquake. Okay, out of this 12% is vulnerable to the solar earthquake. Then 68% land is vulnerable to the drought. Then 12% land is vulnerable to flood. Then there is a 8% land is vulnerable to cyclone. Then apart from natural disasters, some cities in India are also vulnerable to chemical and industrial disaster and man-made disasters also. So these are the things about the vulnerability to the disasters. So GOI, NGO, that is the government organization, then non-government organization, disaster preparation and the responses committee. So if you see we have the members, then World Vision of India, then SOS Children Village India, then Ramakrishna Mission will be there, then Plan International, OX FAM India Trust, Lutheran World Service in India, Red Cross, then Catholic Relief Services, CASA, then CARITS India, Vulnerability Health Association of India, Action Aid, Action for Flood Productions, then Indo-German Social Service Society. So these are the some of the government organizations and organization which will work on the such disasters in the India. Then the area of the concern, the activating on early warning system network and its close monitoring, then mechanism for integrating the scientific, technological and the administrative agencies for effective disaster management, then terrestrial communication link which collapse in the event of a rapid onset disaster, then vulnerability of critical infrastructure, that is the power supply, communication, water supply, transport, etc to disaster events. Okay, so such things we have to take into considerations. Then this is about the area where we can do the work about the disasters. So at this stage we have to stop here, and then if anybody is having any questions right now, you can ask. We will continue this lecture in the next lecture.